This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC Cambodia channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Andrew Barnes-Roberts. Making headlines tonight. Cambodia forges ahead with its booster shot campaign while it reopens vaccinations in Phnom Penh for those who missed their shots earlier this year. An elderly woman in Battambang claims her vaccine shot has miraculously cured her stooped back. And a spectacular fireworks display lights up the night sky of the Japanese capital as the oddest Olympic Games in history come to a close. AstraZeneca vaccines donated by Japan and the United Kingdom are going into arms quickly as Cambodia rolls out its booster shot program. Prime Minister Hun Sen deployed 2 helicopters on Saturday to deliver doses to 7 provinces bordering Thailand. The booster shots started being given on Sunday. On Monday, the Health Ministry reopened vaccinations in Phnom Penh for those who missed their shots earlier this year. EAC news reporter Reo Soko has the details.
Public and private medical practitioners and civil servants. These are the people prioritized by the royal government for a booster shot designed to increase protection against the Delta variant. 7 provinces selected as high-priority areas are Battambang, Banteay, Pailin, Kokung, Udarminche, Pursat, and Priya Vihir. These are all exposed to migrant workers returning from Thailand. The AstraZeneca vaccines are being used as booster shots for those frontline workers who have been fully vaccinated with either Sinopharm and Sinovac. Booster shots will be rolled out for the rest of the adult population once frontline personnel have received theirs. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has brought the COVID-19 vaccination campaign back to Phnom Penh. This is to give Cambodians and foreigners in the capital a second chance to get vaccinated. The vaccinations run until September 8. They are being administered at 2 locations, Ria Ang Dung Hospital and the National Center for Maternal and Child Health. EAC News spoke to 2 foreigners who got their first shots on Monday. 56-year-old Briton Gary Smith says he's finally getting vaccinated after a long wait.
I've come to get the vaccine to safeguard myself and everyone around me. And I think it's a very good thing. It does not hurt. You have the injection, can't feel it. It's not a problem, and it's going to save a lot of lives,
43-year-old Hassan Rihut told us he was not yet in Cambodia when the first vaccinations in the capital were conducted.
Because last time I couldn't arrive in time here because I was not here. I was out of the country. So now I hear the vaccine started again in Phnom Penh. So I came here for the vaccine because it's necessary for me, it's necessary for my health.
The Ministry of Health has advised locals to bring their ID cards and foreigners to bring their passports. Booster shots have also started in the capital, but for military personnel first. Rhea Soko, EAC News. Prime Minister Hun Sen has told all the ministries in the government and other institutions in the country to stop requesting for AstraZeneca booster shots. He made his announcement on Monday afternoon after his office was bombarded with a lot of requests from ministries and leaders in the kingdom who have been fully inoculated with AstraZeneca requesting for booster shots. He says, "Don't keep requesting from me. Please be patient. Wait until the Ministry of Health gives you a schedule. Our priority is the frontline workers. I am the chairman of the COVID-19 working group, so I will be the one to decide." The Prime Minister said that the country does not have enough supply of the AstraZeneca vaccines to boost those who have been fully vaccinated with AstraZeneca. He says that with the supply received by the country from the donations of Japan and the United Kingdom, these will be inoculated to the army's police personnel, doctors serving as frontline workers in the borders, and other health workers. He has also included the veterans and athletes as part of the priority group that should be given with the booster shots. He has highlighted, "We have not studied the gap between the first, second, and the third dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. We have only studied the interval of the Sinovac and Sinopharm vaccines. The royal government, as well as the Ministry of Health, has not yet been able to determine the intervals of the AstraZeneca shots." Prime Minister Hun Sen has added that considering how many people have been fully vaccinated in the kingdom, more AstraZeneca vaccines are needed. However, he says that the royal government is only using what's available and therefore will be given to the people who need it the most to prevent themselves from the virus, especially the Delta variant.
An elderly woman from Battambang says she can now walk up straight after getting her COVID-19 vaccine. 72-year-old Nin Earn says she'd been struggling with a stooped back for the past 3 years, but one day after getting vaccinated, she could suddenly walk properly again. And she wouldn't be the world's first vaccine miracle either. An elderly woman in India was reported to have regained her eyesight earlier this month, also the day after vaccination. EAC News reporter Reo Soko has the story.
Just a day after getting vaccinated, Battambang's 72-year-old Nguyen Eun excitedly showed her neighbors and family members how the COVID-19 vaccine has changed her life. She told EAC News that she'd suffered with a crooked back since 2018, couldn't walk straight, and only slept on one side. But just a day after getting her vaccine shot, she woke up noticing that she could move much more easily and can sleep on both sides. At first, she was worried after noticing that the veins in her wrist were swollen and blue, but then felt something amazing happening.
The other day, I decided to get the COVID-19 vaccine. I was little worried about the side effects, but when I woke up, I was totally amazed with the effect. I can walk straight now. Everyone was so surprised seeing how I move and walk. They don't believe me. I just tell them, look at me and see. How could I ever walk like this without my back hurting? I can stand very well now.
The director of Battambang's Provincial Social Affairs, Kim Teng, delivered gifts to Nguyen Eun. Her family and neighbors say they're amazed at the difference in her. She has expressed her thanks for being vaccinated, but says it's been about a lot more than protecting herself from COVID-19. It has literally changed her life. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
Cambodia's COVID-19 situation continues to improve, with recoveries outpacing new cases for a 10th straight day. On Monday, the Ministry of Health reported 508 new cases of COVID-19, compared to the 660 patients who have been discharged. The new recoveries mean the kingdom now has a total number of 76,155 successful treatments. The total number of COVID-19 positive cases has reached 82,399, with 121 of today's 508 cases being imported. The daily death toll, though, remains in double digits. 23 more families are mourning the loss of their loved ones today. Those latest deaths take to 1,585 the kingdom's total number of COVID-19 fatalities. Investigations are underway after a 6-story building site collapsed in Banteay Meanchey on Saturday. Amazingly, only one person was injured. She was one of the construction workers who was hit by falling debris. The incident happened late on Saturday afternoon in Poi Phet City's Poi Phet commune. 19-year-old Ni Srey Nik was the only person injured, suffering cuts and bruises to her legs as she tried to evade falling masonry. The construction site was a 6-story guest house owned by Yim Kim Yang. Preliminary investigations by Banteay Meanchey police point to inadequate foundations for the building. They're now coordinating with the Department of Land Management and Urban Planning, as well as the project engineers, as the investigation deepens. Let's take a look now at news making headlines around the world this Monday, the 9th of August. Thousands of people have fled their homes on the Greek island of Evia as wildfires rage uncontrolled for a 6th day. Ferries remain on standby for more evacuations. The fires that had threatened Athens have died back, but the blaze on Evia, which lies east of the capital, has quickly consumed thousands of hectares of pristine forest. Greece has deployed its army to help battle the fires. Several countries, including France, Egypt, Switzerland, and Spain, have also sent firefighting aircraft. More than 570 firefighters are involved. With COVID fatigue setting in and vaccine passports quickly becoming the norm, we can expect to see more protests like these. About 1,000 people held a protest in central Rome at the weekend against the so-called Green Pass. The certificate shows if someone has received at least one dose of vaccine, has tested negative, or has recently recovered from COVID-19. Italy is following in the footsteps of France, which was the first European country to say it was making proof of immunity mandatory to access a range of public services and venues. The Green Pass, which came into effect last Friday, is required to dine in at restaurants, as well as go to gyms, swimming pools, sports stadiums, museums, spas, casinos, and cinemas. The Italian government plans to widen use of the Green Pass to include schools, universities, and long-distance transport from the 1st of September. And what is arguably the world's most beautiful building is under threat from pollution flowing downstream from India's capital, New Delhi. Toxic foam caused by industrial chemicals, algae, and waste products in the Yamuna River are causing discoloration on the Taj Mahal. Experts warn that the stains could permanently damage the building. The mayor of Agra, where the Taj Mahal sits, says heavy rains during the monsoon season have meant that more polluted water than ever is flowing in from New Delhi. It's hoped that once the water levels drop, so too will the damaging pollution. Tears, cheers, and fireworks. All the details in sports after the break. EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, 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 wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EART's Cambodia's audience is growing. Our YouTube channel now has 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube, given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EART's Cambodia's hard work and incredible achievement. She says not only has EART's Cambodia brought a unique voice and style to the world, but has also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to www.youtube.com/eartscambodia. Subscribers get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. We'll see you there. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of EART's Cambodia's platforms and channels: YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eartscambodia.com. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear. What must be the oddest Olympic Games in history finally came to a close on Sunday night. The Tokyo 2020 Games were held a year late in a city under a state of emergency and with no spectators, all because of the pandemic. But they closed in spectacular style. A volley of multicolored fireworks lit up the night sky over Tokyo on Sunday. Broadcasting rights being what they are, this is all we can show you of the closing ceremony. Perhaps fitting, considering that these were games very much held behind closed doors. What did go on in the stadium during the closing ceremony was a park scene complete with grass, buskers, and BMX riders. Organizers say it was meant to let the athletes experience Tokyo as they'd spent most of their time in the Olympic bubble. And the Olympic bubble has already burst for Japan. It's been left with a $15 billion bill and no real prospect of a tourism boom to help offset it. But at least the athletes made off with some money, at least in the form of medals. The US beating China to the top of the medals table on the very last day of the Games, finishing with 113 medals in all, 39 of them gold. Japan, Great Britain, and the Russian Olympic Committee rounding out the top 5. While Cambodian athletes did set new records for themselves in Tokyo, the kingdom's hunt for its first ever Olympic medal will now need to wait until Paris 2024. In Paris, thousands waved flags and cheered in front of the Eiffel Tower on Sunday as the Olympic baton was symbolically handed to the French capital from Tokyo. Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo took over Olympic duties in the closing ceremony, which was broadcast live in the French capital's fan zone. Pop music blared out as French Olympians Teddy Riner and Clarisse Abagno danced on stage. Plans to fly a giant Olympic flag from the Eiffel Tower were cancelled because of strong winds, but that did nothing to stop the party. France is promising a 2024 Summer Olympics for the people after the pandemic hit Tokyo Games. There was little sign of that on Sunday, though, with public entry to the fan zone permitted only upon presentation of a vaccine certificate or negative test result. But hopes are certainly high that the Olympic Games in 2024 will look, feel, and sound a lot different than they did in Tokyo in 2021. It was an emotional Sunday for Lionel Messi, who just couldn't hold back the tears as he attended his last ever media briefing at the Nou Camp. Fans camped out from early morning to see their star player arrive at the stadium for the last time as a Barcelona player. It didn't take Messi long to break down as he addressed the media before his formal departure. He said he'd only ever tried to behave with humility and respect, hoping that this remains at the club after he leaves. After the tears came a standing ovation. Messi has not said what his next move will be, but it would appear he's headed for Paris Saint-Germain. That's after the club's manager told reporters that Messi was an option. Messi joined Barca's youth club at the tender age of 13 and went on to become its all-time top scorer with 672 goals from 778 matches. His last contract, signed in 2017, was the most lucrative in world sport. Forbes listed him as the world's second highest earning athlete in 2021, with an income of $130 million. All right, let's take a look at what the weather's going to be up to for tomorrow. And finally, it all started back in the age of the Vikings and has been held annually in Finland and Estonia since the 1960s. It's now come to Hungary, which held its second national competition at the weekend. They call it wife carrying. Some 40 Hungarian husbands and their exceptionally brave wives clambered over extremely rough terrain on Saturday. It was Hungary's second wife-carrying contest, after the first event last October was poorly attended because of the pandemic. Most couples opted for the Estonian position, with the wife upside down and her feet over her husband's shoulders, rather than a classic piggyback, although this did mean a few wives ended up underwater. Couples say the day was great fun, and they'll be back for Hungary's third annual wife-carrying competition next year.
Fantasticus.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EARTS Cambodia channel. We'll get more breaking news and updates from our website. Head to www.e-artscambodia.com. You can also search your favorite app store or our Telegram channel. Look for EAC News. More from the EAC News team tomorrow night at 8. I'll see you then.